fleeting love affair with solar, and that was a problem for me. But the point of that discussion was that at the heart of the transformation from old technology to new technology is finance. It's about what we invest, and it's about what we make back from that, and it's about how long we can make it for, not just a short-term decision. So the choices that banks, insurers, investors make today, in these days, will decide what gets built, what gets protected, and also what gets left behind. So I would like to say that we need to invest in a new love affair. And if we don't make that new love affair with the future, we'll end up battling for survival today. We will not be building our loving relationships. And when I talk about survival, it's very practical. Ghana, like many nations around the world, but particularly in Africa, are really facing the realities of climate change and climate crisis today. There's rising temperatures, erratic rainfall, increasing vulnerability of communities and businesses. And as is always true, and as the Secretary General always says, within every challenge, there's an opportunity. There's a strategic opportunity. And that one is to build and to finance a just, inclusive, and competitive transition. The numbers are stark, and I'm not going to bore you with lots of them, but let's just look at a couple of them. The figures say that Ghana needs over $22 billion by 2030 to meet its own set nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. To achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, more than $40 billion annually will be required. Now, bridging this gap requires managing risks. It also requires unlocking investments to drive further innovation, to create more jobs and build resilience. And finance has the power to accelerate that journey. The private sector, especially the banks, are at the forefront. They have to be, and I don't have to lecture you on that because we're here to discuss that. It's not set up by me or the UN. This is set up by the banks themselves. They are uniquely positioned to mobilize capital, de-risk innovation, and scale up climate solutions. I don't want to lecture you on that. Did I need to tell you that? Not really, because you're here to discuss that of your own accord, and thank you for the invitation to be part of that journey. Fidelity Bank's leadership does show what's possible, and they've done a few very important things, many things which the MD mentioned, but from my perspective, signing the UN Principles for Responsible Banking, joining the UNEP, UN Environmental Programme's Finance Initiative, and other collaborations with the United Nations, Fidelity has committed to aligning its operations here with global sustainability standards. And its growing green portfolio does offer very practical solutions. I think I'll repeat some of the ones which MD mentioned. There's concessional loans supporting adoption of electric vehicles. There's financing renewable energy systems for schools and hospitals. And these are things which will demonstrate that climate action and business success can go hand in hand. And they do send a very powerful signal that where banks lead, the entire economy can follow, but also where banks lead, individuals and communities gain benefits now and in the future. The United Nations in Ghana is quite extensive. We are 37 accredited agencies here, and we are very much all ready to walk the journey with you. I'm not just talking to Fidelity, I'm talking to everybody in the room. We have many agencies, some are represented here, UNFPA, but we have UNCDF, Capital Development Fund, we have UN Development Programme, we have International Fund for Agricultural Development, International Organization for Migration, UN Global Compact. There are many. But these few that I've mentioned, they are really working tangibly on unlocking climate finance, strengthening regulatory frameworks, and building the capacity for sustainable investment. One thing that we've learned very clearly is that no single actor can solve this alone. And that's why partnerships between government, private sector, civil society, and others are essential. And I want to emphasize that cooperation between others in so-called Global South are imperative because they're learning at the same rate we are, and we can learn from each other and share our examples and look for investments from one another. These are essential. That's why gatherings like this are fundamentally, yes, we're going to learn a lot, but it's also about building new partnerships. The Secretary General has called on all countries to present new, bold climate plans aligned with the 1.5 degrees limit. And these plans have to triple renewable energy capacity and double energy efficiency in the next 5 years. And that does require banks' support, for sure, in order to make sure that markets can access the relevant finance, but also just scale up. The numbers are a bit scary, but let's always ask ourselves, what is it that we are trying to build as a legacy? Will we be remembered as a generation that really tackled this crisis head-on, or will we be remembered as a generation that kind of left it to others to deal with? Or, to go back to my earlier analogy, are we hanging on to doomed and expensive relationships with the past? Or is our legacy going to be about having a love affair with a more clean, long-lasting future? Now, I talk about love affairs all the time. Just let me be clear that this is not some sort of extended metaphor for the state of my own family. I'm in a very loving relationship. My wife brings sunshine into my life. So, in case she's listening on the radio, this is not about you, love. This is about general love affairs with the future. So, I want to close by coming back to the story of the young Ghanaian entrepreneur, the one with the solar-powered cold storage. I'm imagining I'm imagining thousands like her getting the support, the technical, the financial, the advisory, but also the solidarity which is needed for thousands like him and her, particularly I'm looking at hers, to build clean, future-facing, and pragmatic solutions to very real problems which exist in her life and our collective lives. That's what I'm looking for. Our work together should emulate the work of those young entrepreneurs. They're courageous, they're ambitious, they're pragmatic, and they're future-facing. And our work can unlock the capital, can unlock the ambition, and can unlock many things which will allow her to be prosperous, to live a better life, and indeed for all of us to be prosperous and all of us to live better lives, and critically, to help the planet remain healthy for future generations. Thank you very much for your kind attention and wishing you all a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you. Another round of applause for His Excellency Zia Chaudhry. So I was just engaging him to know which day of the week he was born. You can't come to Ghana and not be given a local name. You were born on Tuesday, so you're a Kwabena or a Kobi. Okay? So, Honorable Kobi Akwaba, Wezo. We hope you enjoy Ghana. We've done a lot with the UN. And we hope you also leave your footprint and make an impact with us. Thank you so much. And when you spoke, I was taking notes. The realities of climate crisis are upon us. A year or two ago, there was a lot of water in the Akosombo Dam. We had to spill. We lost a lot of property. As we speak, the Bagre Dam has been spilled. Over 700,000 acres of farmlands will be affected. We need to finance strategies that are going to mitigate all these problems. And you said that there are a lot of opportunities within the challenges. And you looked at Julian and you said, we need to mobilize capital and de-risk innovation, which he's doing. But now maybe for the 22 billion we need, Fidelity should contribute to the 20. The rest of us will do susu and add the 2 billion. And we need to build a new love affair with the future. So every morning when we wake up, we need to hug the planet and whisper in her ears, are you okay? What can we do better for you today? Thank you so much for your kind words. We are going to move into the panel session, but before that, I have a special performance by one of our greatest when it comes to poetry, the arts, spoken word. He'll be performing for us very soon. He's my own brother. He has gold on his chest, but that doesn't mean you should think of mining on his chest. No galamsey here, we are against galamsey. But before that, let's get a quick security briefing and then we'll bring in Nana Asase to give us a performance. But if you are listening on radio, this is the Fidelity Bank Sustainability Conference 2025. It's happening at the Palms by Eagles, formerly Holiday Inn Hotel here in Accra. The theme is aligning finance with climate action, a path to sustainable banking. So we'll take a quick security brief before we bring in Nana Asase. Please.
Thank you all very much, and good morning to everyone. My name is Diamond. I'm with the sales team here. I'm sure some of you may be already aware of the Palms by Eagles brand, but for the benefit of those who are not, we're a 100% locally owned hotel chain with hotels in Accra and Takoradi. Now, in Takoradi, we have a total of over 400 guest rooms and multiple meeting spaces. So when you think about conferences and events outside of Accra, we want you to think about Takoradi. We have huge conference facilities that will seat over 2,000 people. In Accra, we have 2 hotels, one of them just by Association International School, and then this is our most recent flagship. Now, in terms of security, well, the most important one, the washroom. When you go outside of the door, to your left, you will have access to the washrooms. Should you need to go further, in our hotel lobby, we have access to more washrooms. In the unfortunate event of a fire, the fire alarms will sound, a fire marshal will come and lead everyone outside. We have 2 assembly points, one by the poolside and the other at the car park. Let's hope we don't have to use that. And in case of a medical emergency, we have a team to administer first aid on site. But should we need an ambulance, Airport Clinic is just 2 minutes away, so we can have an ambulance on site very, very quickly. So I hope you all enjoy yourselves today. We invite you to, in fact, check out our premises and facilities after your event is over. And I wish you all a fantastic event today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome one of Ghana's leading spoken word artists, the legendary Nana Asase. A round of applause.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Good morning, sir. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Babangida together again. Did I disappoint you? Good morning. Welcome to this crossroads of dreams, this market of 9 moons where we choose to call home. Welcome to the center of the world. Welcome to this place where everybody knows the truth, yet a child is not allowed to tell it. A greeting is good enough to start this conversation. And so I salute you, revered greybeards, backs without which we have no front, tongues without which we have no song. They said the beard is the broom with which our elders gather wisdom. Our elders rinse their beards in the dew to lose the pigment of youth. But when you meet elders who taught no beards, mind you, they might have picked all of life's experiences. I still remain a child learning the ropes of the world and the ways of my people. Good morning, my elders. Good morning, my clansmen. Good morning, my kinsmen. A disclaimer says, if this performance is good, I take all the credit. If it does not go well, we share the blame. But who wants to be blamed when we're here to discuss a good matter? A good matter is short, and when it is urgent, that is what makes us abandon everything we deem important to sit. Otherwise, it becomes a debt that we all owe. Truly, we owe a debt. We owe a communal debt. Some have debts of sleep, some have debts of money, but we owe a debt of handing over a sustainable future to those who have yet to enter the thoughts of time. Ago. Ago. Ago fiha. There is fire on the mountain. There is fire on the mountain. There is fire on the mountain. Did I hear run? Is that what you were taught to do? Sorry. I choose to stand still and face it. The sea is my tenant, let fire call its boast. I have learnt that good intentions alone are not enough, like white teeth are no guarantee against bad breath. And so, good dreams are fantastic, but you see, we need to wake up from our dreams and lend feet to them. That is the only way we are able to do very difficult things, as difficult as placing one foot in front of the other. That is how change is achieved. My people, change is the only dynamic constant. And so I cannot tell time by looking at my bead. I have to double it up with this. And so we have organic ideas. However, with the tools of technology, we can transform them together. Organic ideas will ensure that this world thrives. But you see, our people say, when you see anything by the roadside that is beautiful, it is done with money. And so, talk might be cheap, but action is expensive. Expensive not only with the money we have stashed in votes, my people, because our commonwealth is actually all the beautiful ideas in your head and yours and yours and yours. But impact can only be backed not by screams, not by actions. Sometimes we need to dip our hands deep into those bottomless wells of counsel you choose to call money, of what you use as a king, sitting in a palanquin on the floor, throwing his hands to the left and the right and beating his chest. He's tickling himself and dancing to the fancy of his name. But when his people go on their knees and carry him on their shoulders, then the king hears the rhythms of the drums, moves his hands to the left, to the right, places them on his chest, then indeed he has a domain. I am a child. Where is my domain? This is the only place I can call home. But when we have chosen to celebrate and gather and learn how to make sure my future is sustained as a future leader, I choose not to be silent, because we need to train the future the way to go. When we are old and it is older, it knows how to treat us with some respect. My people, it's important. Even when a matter is urgent and the chase is hot, we stop to congratulate ourselves on the little wins we have made. Fidelity's dedication to the fidelity of this matter is commendable. If your left hand is yours and the right hand is yours, please, just a single clap. Would it be in order? Thank you very much for that breather, my people. And so, let us go green. Green like my feet, green like all the things the Creator left us. And let us save this space before we have burnt this home to ashes and engraved so-called our name in the ashes, forgetting that this is where earth and sea and sky meet to share gossip. I am a lonely dreamer. I'm traveling to distant homes to nurse my germinating journeys and to see my adventures as fruit for my daring. I'll be glad one day when I beat my chest again and remember, like my brother says, there is gold on my chest. Not to be mined, it is to remind us that each exists because of the other. Let us hold each other in trust. Let us hold each other in check. Let us lend our support, ideas, money, mobilization, action, whichever you choose to add to the value chain. When all is done, we can sit, not go to the moon, wear ridiculous clothes. We can enjoy a bowl of ampesi. We can enjoy anything that you choose to call a delicacy. My people, hunger is indeed painful. But you see, we are not hungry for food in this case. We are not hungry for money. We are not hungry for ideas. We are simply hungry for change. How will it be achieved? Very difficult. One foot in front of the other. It takes my will. It takes your will. And remember, I choose to wear black because darkness is the only backdrop against which light is seen. The dire circumstances we face is the only backdrop against which all the action we are willing to take will be seen. I am an avid consumer of statistics, of history, of trends. I am not here to bore you with any of these three. This is simply a call that says, united we stand. Divided we fall. Sometimes, divided we stand. United we fall, like COVID taught us. And so, just brighten your corner. I will do my best. Do your best. I will hold you to task. You will put in some goodwill. When all of this is said and done, my people, the power belongs to us, right here on our shoulders. That is what Aquafina says. When all of this is said and done, Ghana cannot fail. The world cannot fail. If anybody says otherwise, Obwa, Ajinyame. I'm the writer king who sips communion wine from the calabash. My people, I came to pour libation, not with water or with drink. I came to leave you things to ponder over. But I also know that in the moment of sober reflection, the cutting of a drink is good. And so I will not pour libation to the gods who might have traveled across the fence to learn from their neighbors. I choose to pour to you, to you, to you, to you, and save some for myself. For we are the ones who keep the world going round. The next generation will point their hands and their fingers at us. Whether it will be the left or the right, it is our choice. Whether it will be an insult or a greeting, even an appellation or a praise, is still our choice. And so, I extend my hand to you. Can you tell what it is? The choice is ours. Message delivered? Have I spoken well? This matter has yet to start from the beginning. I will be back when we sit to gather our harvest. Mpenimbe companies mofrabetuan ansesem. Nyakenyina wunyaminsem. Shadows will find their places on the walls. So Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Babangida together again. This matter needs our fidelity. Medasi.
Wow. Please, another round of applause for Nana Asase. Nana Dia Oyinka, now a Reverend Minister. Please, put your hands together once again for him. Wow. Fidelity, believe with us. If you just tuned in to Joy FM and Joy News, this is the Fidelity Bank Sustainability Conference 2025. It's coming to you from Accra. The theme is Aligning Finance with Climate Action, a Path to Sustainable Banking. Since Nana has done the poetry, later I'll sing the Fidelity Bank song, and all of you help me sing the song. Abna, I should sing the song. Do you know the lyrics? You know the lyrics? So before your panel session, we'll sing the song together. Okay, so Fidelity has also been one of the biggest supporters of the arts, right? They've supported a lot of people in the arts. And His Excellency Kwabena, I'll sing you the Fidelity song. Maybe when you go home, you can sing it to your wife. The lyrics are nice. Okay. Now, before we move to the panel session, we are going to hear from our regulator. You cannot have any conversation about banking and finance without the regulator involved. And the BOG over the years has been very supportive of the industry. They've put together a lot of strategies to help the industry grow. And I'm happy to invite the Director Banking Supervision of the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Ismail Adam, to give his remarks from the BOG. A round of applause for him. If the applause is louder, the CD will appreciate further. We are targeting 2 to the dollar.
Yes. So let me stand on the existing protocols and say good morning to you all. So let me extend warm greetings from the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, who really wanted to be part of this discussion, but some conflicting engagements prevented him from coming. And also extend the greetings of his 2 deputies, Dr. Zachary Momeni and Mrs. Matilda Santi Asiedu. I see a lot of distinguished audience here, distinguished participants, and I'm so happy that we've come to this level of engagement as far as transitioning to green is concerned. I think the presence of all of you here highlights our shared commitment to advancing sustainable development and responsible banking practices in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for today's conference, which is Aligning Finance with Climate Action, a Path to Sustainable Banking, touches on a subject that not only resonates deeply with contemporary discussions, but it also rapidly gaining momentum and visibility within the ever-evolving financial space. And I wish to congratulate Fidelity Bank for being intentional about their sustainability efforts. We must acknowledge that financial instruments yesterday are no longer sufficient for the challenges of tomorrow. It is therefore crucial that we move beyond legacy systems and adopt forward-looking approaches that align with a dynamic and ever-evolving financial landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, achieving this requires a unified and sustained effort from all relevant stakeholders, united by shared purpose and working in partnership to drive meaningful and lasting progress. And I'm happy the UN Resident Coordinator is here supporting this program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me give some highlights, some initiatives that the Bank of Ghana has taken in driving this sustainability agenda. Since the year 2015, the Bank of Ghana has undertaken a series of strategic initiatives aimed at proactively identifying, addressing, and mitigating potential risk emanating from sustainability and climate-related issues, while positioning the financial sector to harness emerging opportunities for sustainable growth. So let me give you some background. In the year 2019, the Bank of Ghana, working together with the Ghana Association of Banks and the Environmental Protection Authority, launched the Ghana Sustainable Banking Principles. And this landmark initiative provides a comprehensive framework to guide banks in effectively managing environmental and social risk, promoting sustainable green investment, and aligning financial activities with Ghana's sustainability and development objectives. At the launch of the Ghana Sustainable Banking Principles, I remember all the 23 CEOs of banks in Ghana endorsed the principles. And I'm happy to say that compliance with these principles has been on upward trajectory, and as at March 2025, the average compliance rate was about 73%, and that is remarkable. In the year 2024, a 4-year strategic plan on sustainability and climate-related risk was also developed and published, and this plan covered a period 2024 to 2028. The aim of the plan is to consolidate and strengthen our ongoing efforts to address sustainability and climate-related challenges within the banking sector. Then also in the same 2024, the Bank of Ghana issued the Climate-Related Financial Risk Directive, and this directive will take effect from 2026. This directive is intended to strengthen the capacity of financial institutions in managing climate-related financial risk, while also embedding these considerations into BOG's supervisory and regulatory frameworks. We don't want to do this alone, so we've also brought in our other sister regulators. So to ensure that coherence and alignment with other regulatory bodies in Ghana, we've initiated a series of consultative discussions aimed at development of a comprehensive sustainable finance roadmap. This initiative seeks to establish a unified framework that will guide all the financial regulators in our efforts towards financial sector's transition to sustainable banking, and also foster that collaboration among key stakeholders and ensure consistency in policies across the financial regulatory landscape. Let me end the speech by saying that today's session is a crucial step in our journey towards achieving sustainable finance in Ghana. So let's use this platform to exchange ideas, let's deepen our understanding, and let's forge partnership that will lead to a lasting progress in our financial system. I wish you all a productive and inspiring program, and may we continue to be guided by the principles of sustainability, and may we achieve meaningful impact together. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, another round of applause for him. So I've been taking notes of the speeches. I've emceed a lot of events. And when it comes to events with bankers and people in the finance space, the speeches are always less than 5 minutes. But other events, some people can talk for 2 hours. This really shows that she can't pay the day. She can't pay the day. But what we are going to do now, I want us to take a photo. Since His Excellency is new in Ghana, you need to take a photo for your archives, right? So please join us up here. Julian, kindly join us well. And then Doc, please join them as well. And I want Nanaya to also join us. Nanaya, please join us up on the stage so we take a group photo. Something you can keep. Please come up to the stage. It's yeah. Yes. Abna, please. Nina, Marjorie, Nina, please join us well on the stage. Good. You know, the first Fidelity Sustainability Conference, you gave us seedlings. The one I planted at home is growing. The second one too, you gave us seedlings. I planted it in the farm, is growing. I need to name that place Fidelity Square, you know, but I have to pay for the branding. So, Nina, you can go to the other side. My paddy, when you wake up in the morning, you know, say the morning calling. You for work. You know I dey your side. You for dream. You for hold our hands. You for believe, oh. You know I dey your side. Fidelity. Now, I don't want to be. This is our song, Moon to be. Fidelity. You for believe with us. Fidelity. Boy, you know I dey your side. That's the song. Thank you all so much. And the next session is going to be the first panel session, which is going to be moderated by Dr. Abena Nyakwa Asumenin. Abena works with the Ghana Exim Bank, and she is moderating this particular session. The topic is the current state of sustainable banking, mobilizing private sector capital for climate action in Ghana. Mobilizing private sector capital for climate action in Ghana. Abena is going to moderate this session. And so please, let's put our hands together for Dr. Abena Nyakwa Asumenina. She comes up. Should I introduce your guest for you, or you do that yourself?
Thank you very much. Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. I don't know if you all noticed what Nanaya tried to do with the photography. That was inclusivity at work. It would have been colorless without the two other women up here. So Nanaya Aiko, thank you very much. I bring you greetings from the Ghana Exim Bank. We are a development bank focused on export, and import substitution is also of interest to us. We have the mandate to talk about the current state of sustainable banking, mobilizing public and private sector capital for climate action in Ghana. I would give you just a little brief, then I'll call my panel here. We promise you today to make it very painless and as interactive as possible. In my experience, people think, or when they hear sustainability, it tends to be quite abstract. And then when you add financial instruments, investments, and all the jargons to it, they get really, really confused. But my team promise this to do justice to it in a painless manner. As Ghana advances its climate commitments under the Paris Agreement and its nationally determined contributions, the NDCs, the financial sector is poised to play a pivotal role in catalyzing climate investments. This panel will explore how global private and public sector capital can be mobilized through innovative financial instruments, strategic partnerships, and ESG-aligned investments to support climate action and sustainable development in Ghana. As we go about our discussions, I would want you to understand that our mandate is to give to you, at the end of the day, these objectives we will try to address in our discussions. So you may mark us when we are done and you're asking questions. We are to examine the current landscape of sustainable banking globally and locally, and to identify global opportunities and challenges in mobilizing private capital for climate-related investments. We also have to explore local policy, regulatory and technological enablers for green finance, and finally, highlight best practice inclusive strategies to ensure equitable access to sustainable financing. Without wasting much time, I'm going to call Mr. Timothy Ofosu, Banking Supervision, Bank of Ghana, Mr. Charles Opoku-Mensah, Head Aftercare and Investor Grievance Division, Ghana Investment Promotion Council. Then we have, last but not the least, Dr. Francis Mensah Sasraku, former Head Risk and Regulatory, National Banking College. It's quite difficult being up here. Could you just welcome them with a clap? Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. As we promised, we would give different perspectives. They represent different institutions. And so in 1.5 minutes each, I promise to time you. Please give us what your institutions represent so that their subsequent submissions will be put in context. We can start off with.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
My name is Timothy Ofosu with the Banking Supervision Department of the Bank of Ghana. I work within the Climate and Sustainability Office where we assess and analyze sustainability and climate-related risk. Thank you.
Hello? Okay,
Hello.
thank you. I'm Charles Opoku-Mensah. I work with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. GIPC, for short, is the institution responsible for attracting both foreign investments and local investments into the Ghanaian economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Doctor.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Fidelity and the team. I'm Dr. Francis Sasraku, and formerly the head of Risk and Regulations at the National Banking College. Our mandate is to make sure that we create capacity and also consult for the banks in helping them to transit towards implementing the green financing objective of the central bank, and as expected by all the global institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to start the tone. I know that normally an audience like this will be a mixed audience. Some have come to learn, others are experts, so we would give consideration to all in attendance today. So don't get bored if your understanding of sustainability issues are here, and then we want to mix it up. I want you to give me an idea from your different perspectives how the sustainable banking landscape is looking like currently. Let's start off with Doctor here.
Thank you very much. I'll be looking at the landscape globally and also locally, briefly. Now, if you look at it from the perspective of the banking landscape, you will see that in the developed countries, the role of the private sector in engineering financing is quite strong and effective. When you compare to LDCs and emerging economics, you see clearly that it's more skewed towards public sector financing and others. Internally also, you see some institutions gearing up to actually accelerate its implementation based on their strategies and competence, especially our prestigious bank like Fidelity, which we can attest to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Please.
For me, coming from the investment angle, where we see a lot of projects or for companies or investors coming into our economy, and especially where they seek partnerships with local businesses, we see that capital formation within our system is a bit low. And where the capital is available, the cost is also high.
Okay.
And so those are some of the things that we see. And so for us, we will be very glad to see more capital flowing through. That makes joint ventures very, very possible and easy for Ghanaians, especially Ghanaian businesses.
Right.
And that will also give us the opportunity to own more of our economy. And also generating investments. And then the opportunities available can also be exploited by our own people.
Right. Okay. Oh,
Okay, thank you. So I'll be speaking from the perspective of the Bank of Ghana.
yeah.
Our sustainability journey started over a decade ago. So the committee that was tasked to come up with the sustainable banking principles were originally they originally designed it in a way that it will attract green investment into Ghana. So in 2019, we came up with the full principles, that is the SBPs. And at the launch of the SBPs, all 23 commercial banks signed on to it. So the Bank of Ghana realizes that in order to attract this green investment, we need to put in place that regulatory framework, not just for sustainability, but for other deeper issues within sustainability. That's why in 2024, we came up with the Bank of Ghana strategic plan on climate and sustainability, and we also came up with the climate-related financial risks directive. So we believe that by putting in place these measures, we'll be able to give investors some sense of security that when they invest their money into Ghana, the required risk controls will be put in place. Thank you.
Right. So what specific initiatives are institutions undertaking to build capacity for green financing? Capacity is everything. You talked about some coming in, an access issue. We'll talk about the access later, but what specific initiatives are being put in so far? Yes.
Okay, so BSG, under the Bank of Ghana, we tend to organize regular deep dive sessions where we engage various stakeholders. For instance, Fidelity Bank would usually come to one of these deep dive sessions when we invite panelists from other regulatory agencies like the EPA, the IFC, and other development partners, where we all come together, share ideas, and discuss how to tackle each relevant sector within the SBPs. As at 2025, we've also engaged a number of boards and senior management of the various banks, because we believe that to set the sustainability tone, we need to tackle it from the top, so that when the top shows genuine commitment towards tackling sustainability, it can transcend down to the people at the very bottom. Thank you.
Right. GIPC, you're an agency. We would want to know what initiatives you've undertaken to help businesses that have already been partnered with international partners and those who are looking to be ready for partnership. What initiatives are there?
First and foremost, we do what we call facilitation, business facilitation, where we help businesses to really package their projects,
okay,
and to be able to match them with possible financing and investing opportunities that come through. And we don't do this just single-handedly. We work with a lot of collaborators, like the UNDP. We've been working with UNDP on investment opportunity mapping, and where UNDP identified very specific opportunities that have impact effect within the economy, and then also bring to speed our Ghanaian business community to understand how these things work and how they can take advantage of it. We've been working with the Ministry of Finance to be able to also create incentive packages for some of these opportunities that come through, and educating our business community to also understand these opportunities that are available. So we've been doing a lot of facilitation and events to bring the awareness to the business community.
Right. Doctor, I would want to understand from the point of view of National Banking College, how are organizations approaching you to build capacity for this new space?
I will look at it from 3 broad angles. The first one relates to the training that or capacity we need to build for the banks. And the rationale is very clear. What we've observed is that in many instances, the funds flow in, and most green funds have got their own tier. The ability to market and push the funds to either for transition or any implementable measure becomes a challenge. So one of the critical skills capacity that Banking College has been building is to ensure that technical skills in marketing of green funds, in addition to accessing such funds, become one of our prime programs that we have actually initiated. In addition to that, we also work in terms of collaboration, where you see clearly that the challenge of bankers ensures that sustainability